simply wasn't into matrimony. But some pretty female scenery would definitely make this last-minute trip more pleasant. Excellent. As Logan laughed, Josiah glanced at his watch, eager to lay eyes on the bride's sister again. Wasn't this ceremony supposed to start 10 minutes ago? They're running a bit behind. The family was stunned and upset this morning to hear about their neighbor's murder. Josiah had heard the whispers when he'd arrived. An old man, right? Logan nodded. Everyone is on edge. Apparently, he taught Shayla and Maggie how to ride when they were kids. They considered him something of an uncle. And from what Josiah had heard, the local police had no suspects. Someone had walked into the victim's house and pitchforked the 70-year-old widower to the floor, leaving him to bleed out. No clues, no witnesses, no motive, no mercy. So far, nothing about this town sat well with him. Suddenly, the background music grew louder. Cutter entered the barn through a side door and trekked to the altar, looking both confident and proud. His older brother, Cage, followed, his expression solemn. Another guy Josiah didn't know trailed behind him. Someone nearby whispered that he was a high school pal of Cutter's. The music changed again. Everyone turned and focused their attention on the back of the barn, decorated with white tulle, pale satin ribbons, and rustic, chic chandeliers. Discreetly placed space heaters kept the interior toasty despite the January chill. Carrying a bouquet of white daisies, a brunette appeared at the back of the room, her long hair arranged in beachy waves, her dark eyes sparkling. She somehow maintained a hint of innocence despite the slight bulge of a baby belly under her flowing burgundy dress. That's Brea Bell, Cutter's next-door neighbor. She's like a little sister to him, Logan murmured. She's the girl 1 Mile keeps getting in Cutter's face about? At Logan's nod, Josiah asked, Did Walker get her pregnant? Logan shrugged. He didn't know, but that expression said he was mighty interested in the answer. I haven't pried, but that's my guess. Holy shit. Pierce Walker, a.k.a. 1 Mile, was a loner and an acerbic bastard. He and Cutter had been at each other's throats for months, and Josiah had known it had something to do with a woman. Brea's pregnancy would explain all that. Thankfully, Walker wasn't at this wedding. Her shit would be going down. As Brea made her way up the aisle, Maggie appeared behind her. Golden hair upswept. Eyes that looked neither blue nor green glittering. Gray lace cupping breasts he'd love to get his hands and mouth on. As he stared, Josiah flashed hot. He hadn't been imagining how gorgeous she was. If anything, she was more beautiful than he remembered. Maggie floated past, casting him a sidelong glance. Their gazes connected for an instant. A strong zing zipped through his body before most of his blood jetted south. The lust bug had bitten him hard. A secretive smile flitted across her face as she focused forward and continued down the aisle. She wasn't immune either. Good. If he played this right, tonight could be mighty interesting. When Josiah caught sight of her backless dress and the exposed line of her spine, his jaw dropped, and he rephrased his last statement. Tonight would be interesting. He was determined. Seconds later, the music swelled once more. Everyone stood. The bride appeared at the back of the room. When the guests turned to her, they gave a collective gasp. No denying she looked absolutely radiant. Lace hugged her famous curves, from the straps clinging to her slender shoulders to the womanly swells of her hips before giving way to the tulle skirt sprinkled with applique flowers. She glowed with happiness and looked at Cutter like he was a king. Bryant was a good guy, and if Shayla made him happy, well, Josiah wished them the best. This marriage gig worked out for some, and maybe Shayla was actually the kind of woman who, despite being a celebrity, kept her promises. It happened for some lucky bastards. Josiah refused to take his chances again. The ceremony was brief but heartfelt. Together, they lit candles and said a few words to their closest family. Cutter's mom beamed when they handed her a rose. Shayla's grandmother sobbed. Her mother looked so blessed and proud as she gripped the stem and kissed her daughter's cheek. After that, the bride and groom had eyes only for each other, sharing promises.